We're talking about Georgia Tech clean, old-fashioned hate.
Mm-hmm.
The Dogs are a big favorite. Does that mean they're going to win by a lot? We'll tell you next on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. He is Daniel. I'm Clint. Together, we are Locked On Bulldogs. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel, FanDuel.com. Every single pick we're going to give you today, including the Bulldogs game against those pesky, I guess we can say now. They're not terrible. They're not bad. They're pesky Georgia Tech team. We're going to give you over FanDuel. Today's sponsor, thank you so much. Thank you to the everydayers and the first listeners that are here every single day with us. It's Thanksgiving week. We have a lot to get to, so we appreciate y'all being here with us so very much. We sincerely mean that. We do this show for you, for fans, by fans. Today, Daniel, we are giving out them locks. We are talking about it, and let's begin with this Georgia Tech game that is going to be in Athens this Friday, tomorrow after Thanksgiving, so get the leftovers. And if you are so foolish as to not prepare your own special side of leftovers that are just for you and no one else,
that was a mistake. You hide them.
Guys, you got space somewhere.
All right, let's not. We need to get into the content of the show, but this is a public service. You make a certain amount of food in separate containers, and then you store it away. You don't even put it out. You eat out of the communal food.
Yeah.
Okay. But what if all the mashed potatoes get eat up? Like, you can't have that. You have
public consumption and you have private consumption.
You have a private stash of all of the essentials for that sandwich, which is bread, turkey, gravy, mashed potatoes, gravy, cranberry sauce, bread. That's how you make a sandwich the day after Thanksgiving.
Daniel, the line for this game is 19.5 over at FanDuel. The over-under is 51.5. The juice, if you just want to bet money line, is 14.50. Meaning all of that, for those of us who don't understand this, Georgia is favored by a lot. Vegas anticipates Georgia coming out and steamrolling the Ramblin' Wreck of Tech.
Yeah, that's right.
Daniel, Let's get into the preview of this game. We gave a little bit out earlier this week. We anticipate that no one under the sun, including Kirby Smart, and by all indications, so far in the pressers, he understands. He knows the assignment. He's not overlooking Tech because this is a team that can run the ball very well and milk the game and string it out and get 4 yards, 5 yard chunks here and there against a defense that is, again, just to clarify, Georgia Tech's run defense is better than our run defense. They have a running mobile quarterback. Statistically speaking, they have a very mobile quarterback. They have true freshman Haynes Keene. Does not look healthy. We anticipate this is going to come down to the game. Can we stop the run? If we can, game over. If we can't, long afternoon in Athens Friday. Daniel, what is your prediction for this game?
Well, I actually think Philo's been throwing it better, especially this last game. Had that game-winning drive against NC State. Game on his shoulders, marched him down the field, passed for over 250 yards in the game against NC State. I think he's coming into his own, but I do fear the run more than I fear the pass, as you said, when it comes to Georgia Tech. And so you would think under would be a play, 51.5. Georgia Tech, we already said Brent Key's going to try to stretch this game. He's going to try to milk this clock.
Stoops 2.0, y'all.
I anticipate it's shortened, abbreviated possessions, all of that. But the under doesn't make me feel great.
We're talking 25-27. The game has hit the over.
Yeah. Are you on the over? Let me ask you that.
I'm not on the over. It doesn't make me feel good either way.
Okay. Yeah. I think that there's a lot of scenarios here that this could play. I think you could have a low scoring, rock fighty. You mentioned Stoops 2.0. I think you could get a Kentucky type game here. I also think you could have a game where Georgia's offense maybe sputters around early, but then gets loose late. I think you could have a game. I think you could have a game where Georgia's offense gets loose early, and then Georgia kind of coasts to a victory. All three of those scenarios, Clint, make me want to do something that I have never done in the history of the Locked On Bulldogs podcast.
He's going to give it a lock. This was a tenet that we said never to do, and he's breaking one of the tenets.
I apologize to no one. I am absolutely, without a doubt, locking up Georgia Tech plus 19.5. No one is taking this game seriously enough.
No.
I'm reading things on the internet about Georgia, 100% likelihood to make the college football playoff. No, because there's a percentage chance Georgia straight up loses this game. Georgia Tech is going to try to ugly this game up. I really think this game could be inside of 7 points, much less inside of 20 points, Clint. I think even if Georgia wins comfortably, we're talking about a 14 to 17 point win for the Bulldogs, maybe a backdoor cover situation. You know, Brent Key's not going to let his foot off the gas. If he's got to score against Georgia, he's going to try to. So even if Georgia gets loose early and Carson Beck is cooking, I think you could see the defense give up a late score and maybe a backdoor cover here. Obviously, I'm not rooting to make money in this situation. I hope Georgia wins by 40, and I am just cackling all the way through the game. But if you want to know my honest, put money on it opinion, I am going to take Georgia Tech plus 19.5. I think Georgia wins, Clint, but I see this game being very much in the 24 to 17 type of range, much more so than I see it being like 45 to 20.
This is going to be a game where at the end of it, you and I are going to be happy. We're going to be getting on the overreaction on Friday and
we'll be right here on Friday night.
Glad we got the win. Let's move on. Like, we got out of Athens with a win, and that's going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, the biggest takeaway, because this game has the propensity to have that sway of, oh my gosh, yeah, it's not going to be 35-7. It's going to be 21-24, which Dog fans are going to be all in an uproar and really mad about it. I don't have a lock in this game. I can't lock up Georgia Tech because I believe in tenets that you always hold, if not the things that you set out to do. Who are we? We're just animals at this point. And some of us are animals, and I can't stop it. Okay.
No.
So I don't have a lock in this game. My lean also, I don't hate Daniel's lock, though. That is the right side of the bet. Okay. So
I do think you of all the games, you come out of this, Georgia fans, don't get it twisted. You come out of this game winning the game. Nothing matters. You're going to the SEC championship game, Georgia fans. You got a big game. You know, you get to sit back on Saturday night, College Station, Texas, just watch a little television and see who it is that you're going to get to play in that SEC championship game. That game, I believe, is going to be a dogfight.
Oh,
I think.
Wait till segment 2.
I think Georgia. Just because I think I'm locking up Tech plus 19.5 doesn't mean I don't think Georgia could win this game comfortably. If Georgia wins this game comfortably, you get a little rest in the fourth quarter for some of these guys. You know, you got an extra game next week. Georgia fans are up in arms about that. I think that could be huge if Georgia's able to get off to a fast start. Maybe you get a backdoor cover from Tech. But I don't think blowing them out is outside of the realm of possibility. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I think this Tech team is much scrappier than people are giving them credit for.
We're going to come back after this, give you more locks for the rest of the games. But first, this. FanDuel, they're fantastic. They're the official sports book of Locked On Bulldogs, Locked On Podcast. We're the only place that Daniel and I, as we're making these wagers, go and make the picks. We were 12-2 last week. Your boys are on a roll heading into bowl season, heading into playoff time and conference championships. We know who teams are. They've let us know. That's why we're giving these locks. And right now, FanDuel are the people that we trust the most to get our money and get it to us safely and securely after we win. FanDuel.com, make a $5 wager, win that $5 wager, get $150 in bonus bets straight back to you. They're NFL, NBA, college football, all the way around. Right now, you win a $5 bet when you sign up. You get $150 in bonus bets straight to your account. FanDuel.com, make every moment more.
All right, Clint.
All right, Daniel.
Let's jump into these locks.
Let's do it. There
do you
are
have
plenty.
Do you have a Memphis Tulane play? That's the Thursday game.
That's Thursday.
We should give that to the people. Early. Big game for Tulane.
It really Tulane.
Huge implications for the college football playoff.
Y'all, watch this game. Watch the game.
Watching.
Okay. I don't have a lock in that game, Daniel. Do you?
I do not have a lock in that game. I lean
Tulane's
going to
win
plus the points. I lead Memphis plus the points. I think there's a lot of pressure in the game. I think Memphis is a solid team. So
Tulane's going to win, but Tulane. They're not going to blow them out. 13.5 is the spread. So no go. Okay, so let's now go to Friday early slate. Daniel, where do you want to start?
Friday games. I'm gonna go shot your shot and missed. And now there ain't nothing left in the chamber. Give me the Wisconsin Badgers -1.5 at home against Minnesota. Obviously, you know that Minnesota almost pulled the stunner of the season, getting Penn State last week. Should have beaten Penn State. Had to beat. Penn State is fraudulent. Dear sweet baby Jesus, give me a matchup in the college football playoff against the Penn State Nittany Lions. You can
white out whatever you want. I'll contact Bick and have them send a whole truckload over to you. It ain't gonna matter.
Unconcerned. I think Minnesota shot their shot. I don't think they have anything left, and so I'm gonna go with the Badgers at home in the final game of the season. What's this? Paul Bunyan? Is this the Paul Bunyan?
This is the Paul Bunyan Trophy.
One of the best. One of the best rivalries trophies in all of football.
Wisconsin played well against Oregon, some Big Ten schools. Right. Wisconsin figuring some things out under Luke Fickell. I also have a lock in this game. It is Wisconsin. Give me the Badgers. Minnesota is horrible away from home.
They're not good away from home. They're bad.
So give me that.
They ain't rowing no boat.
No, ain't.
All right, where else are you gonna go on Friday, Clint?
Paul Bunyan chopping down, but they ain't canoeing nothing. I'm going Friday, 3:30. It's a little thing called the Egg Bowl. Everybody.
Okay.
Let me describe to you what's happening. Okay.
All right. Please do. Paint us a picture.
Has quit the season. Okay.
Why would they not have quit the season? The season ended.
Lane Kiffin doesn't know which players to play to put them in position to beat teams. They can get up for a home game. They can do that sort of thing, but they are praying and hoping that something weird happens, which it's not going to, because the weirdest thing that's going to happen is South Carolina or Alabama getting in the playoff, not Ole Miss. Ole Miss, talk about shooting your shot and missing. There are other teams ahead of Ole Miss that have better things going on for them. The Egg Bowl is crazy every single year.
Sure it is.
Okay. Give me Mississippi State plus the 26.5, Daniel.
It's a lot of puntos.
That's a ton of points. I'm going rivalry. I'm going ton of points. I'm going a team that doesn't have the same juice as it did before. Even if they do win, it's likely in a bowl. There's guys already thinking about opting out. There's guys already thinking about transferring, and there's guys already thinking about the NFL draft. Give me Mississippi State.
I don't hate that pick. I am too scared to make it myself, but I don't hate it. I am going to. Do you have any more Friday? Because I'm done on Friday.
I'm leaning. Oh gosh, I really want to take that. But
do you have the stones to take Oregon State? That's what I'm asking you.
I want to so badly.
Oregon State plus, what is it, 18.5 points?
18.5 is a lot of points. Oregon State's not a horrible team.
It's on the road on the blue turf. They're pretty close to horrible. But
Boise State did not look good against Wyoming.
Good. They've not been looking good lately. They have struggled. They are back home. This game means everything to this Boise State program.
There it is. I think this is a rebound gate for Boise State, which is why I'm staying away.
I think they get the win, but golly, I would still lean heavily Oregon State. Any more on Friday?
No, nothing on Friday. Going to Saturday.
Okay. Vandy plus 10.5. Like I don't
Vandy, but double that up. Just make it a double. Two
Vandy
fingers.
plus 10.5.
Just give me. Yeah.
I just don't know. I think Tennessee's probably going to win.
Sure.
But this game's going to have drama in it. Like,
Yeah.
Diego Pavi is going to come out. He's going to play well. What more do you like? You can't. Don't expect anything else from him.
No.
I will be cheering for Tennessee in order to keep Alabama out of the playoff, which is a lot for me.
It's weird. We hate
But if
Tennessee.
Vandy's got a chance to win that thing late,
Yeah.
it's going to be hard for me to not start rooting for him because
I agree.
it's just a fun team. Yeah, but Vandy plus 10.5 at home. Who are we even kidding?
Double it up, y'all. Double it up. Daniel, do you have a Michigan Ohio State pick?
I will be sprinkling plus 1160. I out of principle, I will be sprinkling some on the Michigan money line plus 1160.
3 in a row for Michigan. They got some juice back to their whole program. There's excitement in the air in Michigan, and it's Ryan Day late November. He's looking ahead to Oregon.
He can't possibly be looking past Michigan. This fan base will literally murder him outside the stadium if they lose. Like, there is not enough security detail in this world. I don't like the 20.5. Are you going to lock up the 20.5?
This game is either 45-0,
right,
or 20-21.
Right.
And so,
give me the Michigan money line just for a little action in the game.
Yeah.
It's a ton of juice. South Carolina, Clemson. Clint, what are you doing here?
If y'all don't understand South Carolina winning this game, I can't help you. I don't know what to do with you. Give me South Carolina. Who? I'm sorry. They're giving points.
We're going to catch some points. We're going to catch them. No, we're going to catch them points.
Give me South Carolina plus the 2.5. Absolutely.
Big nooner in Death Valley. The Clemson fans are going to be up for this game. It's going to be a difficult road environment.
Mm-hmm.
I have been preparing to bet South Carolina all week. I think I might be starting to lean Clemson just because South Carolina feels like such an obvious bet to me.
The 2.5, it looks a little fishy too. The 2 in the hook is odd.
I think I'm gonna stay away from it in general, but I'm not sure. I am going to take at home the USC Trojans plus 7.5 against Notre Dame. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to bet on them.
Well, because Notre Dame beats up on service academies.
That's what they do. USC is not a service academy.
There we go. See, it's pretty easy logic. Daniel got a lot of agreement. This is Rivalry Week and Conference Championship. We're going to see a lot of agreement. Give me USC at home catching points all day long. These teams hate each other. USC really does. I understand being Southern people, you might not, but they hate Notre Dame with a dying passion. We're going to come back after this. We're going to give you more locks as we wrap up. But first, this. Let's keep the good times rolling, Daniel. We have lots of games. I have a lot of logs on the fire. Maybe it's the leftovers.
It's the week. It's the season.
If y'all don't understand, Arizona State is going to run Arizona out of the building.
Yeah, this is a rivalry game where we're gonna zag. We're gonna go the other way on it. Yeah, I don't hate it.
Scatterboo is just going to absolutely annihilate. Levitt is playing well. They talk about juice in a program. Y'all buy stock in Arizona State now because they're going to ruin a whole lot of people in the next coming years. They got something special happening. The coach, the program, the players, the excitement. And if you want to see an environment, if y'all don't understand what Arizona State does better than most other places in the country, it's have a good time. Okay.
Oh, they have a good time. This game's in Tucson, though.
It is in Tucson. I understand. But what I'm saying, Arizona State fans still going to travel. Like it's going to be a whole wild thing. I'm laying the points of the 8.5. Give me the Sun Devils.
Yeah, I'm going to take another favorite here. Curious to know what you think about it. I think Miami's going to roll Syracuse. I think Syracuse is a really trendy upset pick. Miami's laying 10.5 on the road in the Carrier Dome, what used to be the Carrier Dome. I don't care what it's called now.
It's still the Carrier Dome to us.
I think Miami, Cam Ward, I think they're going to I think Miami minus 10.5 is a play. I think whatever the Miami team total is, that's a play as well. Like,
Take it.
I think Miami's going to score a bunch of points in this game. I think they're going to roll.
I don't have that as a lock, but I like it a great deal. I was going to bet Syracuse in this. I had basically convinced myself whatever line came out, I was going Syracuse. I thought about it some more, and I thought, I just can't trust them up and down. Miami, with their season and playoff hopes on the line, I think figure some things out. Take care of business and don't mess around. I'll tell you a team. We talked about fraudulent teams. We talked about teams that are going to get exposed. We talked about teams that are already looking ahead because they're not going to be in their conference championship game. And this is the last time they have something before they play a home playoff game. Penn State is giving 24.5 points to Maryland. Now,
okay,
Daniel just described a situation in which hopefully Georgia's offense gets out to a roll by fourth quarter come around. We go ahead and take some time off as we prepare for the SEC championship and then a playoff run. All things fingers crossed. Penn State doesn't have that option. They're not playing in the conference championship game. That's going to be Ohio State and Oregon. They don't care about anything else. This is the last game before they host on the 21st. They want to get themselves right. They want to put it away. Even if they're up by 20, they're not going to slam on the gas, I don't think. Plus, they can't get away from teams, Daniel. They took a fake punt to play Minnesota. Maryland is not a good team, but they just have enough juice in them to cover this. Give me 24.5 all day long with the Terrapins of Maryland.
Yeah, that's a scary line to me. James Franklin in these spots where he's a big favorite typically does pretty well.
He does.
I'm going to shy away from that one, but I am going to take. I've been telling you all week I'm going to take it. I'm going to take Florida State plus 14.5.
He did.
And I'm going to take Florida State plus 500 on the money line. Wouldn't it be hilarious? And I actually think Florida State's just a live team in this game. Florida, again, coming off a couple of really great performances. But, I think this is a different animal now against Florida State. And so give them to me.
This is the most Florida thing to do in the world. Lose to this game. Like, just bank on that. I'll tell you something else we've been telling you for a long time. Auburn's beating Alabama.
No.
I know.
No.
I know. The things have changed. I was joking. The things have changed since the landscape of this, since the loss to Oklahoma. Auburn has come out talking all sorts of smack. Zach, sorry, my friend. Like, the magic is gone. Hugh needs to leave. Can we just? He needs to leave.
I mean, he just bought himself another year with that.
He did. I know. Okay, but talk about a game that I'm not changing whatsoever. I'm not changing at all, and I'm catching 5.5. Texas A&M Aggies plus 5.5 against Texas. He told you he was looking past Auburn. He did. He told you, and we believed him, and we thought Auburn was going to win the game. Turns out that happened. I believe Mike Elko that says, but now I got a chance to beat my biggest rival, to go in the SEC championship, and to be in a playoff contending spot. He beats Texas. There's an outside shot he loses in the SEC if the committee is true, that they do make the playoff. Like, Mike Elko has everything in front of him. Texas doesn't. Texas can lose this game and still make the college football playoff. They don't care about the SEC championship. They don't have any history with it. Give me A&M plus 5.5.
I'm also betting A&M plus 5.5. I'm also sprinkling a little bit on the A&M money line because I think A&M's going to win this game. I'm going to take SMU minus 13.5. SMU's been rolling teams. Cal comes to town. I think SMU's going to roll them again.
Lock it up. Do that twice over.
Yeah.
Because I also think that SMU is going to take it. By the way, Daniel, we're coming to the end of the program. Let's just talk really quick about already early lines that you can get for the SEC championship.
I was just about to ask you this.
Great. Okay. Georgia against Texas is favored by 1.5 in a rematch in the SEC championship game. And against A&M, 9.5. Those are interesting lines to me, Daniel.
Those are interesting lines to me.
Yeah.
Which one do you like better? if you had to bet on Georgia in one of those games, which one would you rather bet on Georgia in?
Against Texas, the 1.5, Daniel.
If Georgia plays Texas, I will lay the 1.5, and I will make a large wager on it.
Yes.
If Georgia plays A&M, I will take Georgia on the money line minus 335, and I will bet my entire account on it. There is no chance that Georgia loses to Texas A&M. 0 chance.
Correct.
There's
9.5?
9.5 points, too many points. I don't like it. I don't want to lay 10 points in a conference championship game. Yeah. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But who are you cheering for as a Georgia fan in this Texas A&M game? Who are you cheering for?
I think, oh my gosh, this is so how do I want to explain this? I want Texas.
You want another? You want to just beat them again?
I want to bite at the apple. Let's go. Here's why. Do you know what A&M has that Texas doesn't? A really freaking talented defensive line, Daniel.
They do.
An Ole Miss type defensive line.
They do. You know what's different about Georgia now since the Ole Miss game?
Oh, say it to me. Give it to me.
The left tackle.
What's his name?
He's a different guy. Name's Monroe Freeling, and he's a different human person.
He's a different beast, y'all. Monroe Freeling has solved so many of my problems. I owe a lot to him. But I want another bite of the apple because I think losing to Lane and having the kind of the coaching tree and Kirby's pride against Steve Sarkisian and offensive guys, I think is going to come back up. SEC championship games is where Kirby goes. By the way, how many in a row for Georgia? Did Nick Saban ever do this many SEC championships in his tenure in a row, Daniel?
I have no idea. I don't know. He's deceased, so I don't know. We shouldn't speak ill of him. Because he's
living his best life. He is babysitting a drunk punter from West Virginia.
That is correct. All right. He is Clint. I am Daniel. These have been our locks. We will be back tomorrow talking about what we're excited about, what we're nervous about, what you shouldn't sleep on, all of that and more on the Locked On Bulldogs podcast. We'll see you guys then.
See ya.